The lowriders in the house, player. My name is Mark Mata. I'm the president of Dallas Lowriders Car Club. So this car right here is a 1972 Monte Carlo. It was already painted like a brandy wine, but it came in for a couple little touch-ups and a couple little dings. We're gonna add a little pizzazz to it on the roof. We're gonna flake out the roof and throw some graphic designs on it. Yeah, we'll sand it down, and then whatever little dings we find, we'll repair them and then and go from there. This right here is a 1963 convertible. This is what you call a full frame off build. Like every nut and bolt on this car will be new. We're doing a lot of the metal work on it. Most of it is done. We're repairing some inner rockers, adding the new floor pans on it. A lot of the parts on this are engraved, chrome, gold plated. And then on the bottom of these, there's a slot there, so I got the guys gonna add a mural on the bottom of it. So the bottom of your A-arms and your upper A-arms will have murals inside of them. There's levels to this. You know, you got some people that want to go crazy and some that, you know, whatever you can afford is what I say. One of those guys that, you know, back in the days, you know, we would buy a car, and a lot of people have done this. We'll just paint it, throw rims and hydraulics on it, and let's go. Because there wasn't a lot of money and a lot of people that did this type of work. But now we've learned over the years that every time you do a car and you're out there jumping it, and something's gonna break if it's not, you know, reinforced. So now we try to do, you know, the majority of the cars from what we say the ground up, which we start off with the frame. The frame has to be reinforced. And then, you know, we remove the body from the frame, and then you got to work the body work, and the bottom of the car has to look just as good as the outside. And some of us go all the way out, and some of us can only do whatever we can afford. It does take time, and it takes patience, and it takes money. I'm 48 years old. I've always loved it. I've always been around it. My brothers and them, they've been doing it their whole lives. You know, I was born into it, basically. I was 4 years old. He would be like, go wash the car and get it ready. So while he's sitting inside doing whatever he's doing, I was outside shining his car up. And he would take me, would go right around. My brother and his friends started Dallas Lowriders in 1979. When my brother passed away, he was murdered at 87. When he passed away, the car club died with him. So me and my older brothers that were still around in 2003, we started it back up. We have a group text of our car club, and we'll put on their breakfast in the morning, and whoever's not at work or doesn't go until later, we'll try to meet up and have breakfast. I didn't know I was short until I went to prison. I always thought I was a giant. Yeah. I swear to God, my ego was bigger than taller than all.
Oh yeah,
and back then everybody was small to me until I went to prison and I stood. They make you stand up against the wall with 50 other men. And I start looking around, what's going on over here, Tom? I was one of them hard-headed guys back then. It's sad to say, but when we're younger growing up, we grew up around the gang life and, you know, drug dealers or whatever. So I used to like look up to my older homies and be like, man, I can't wait till I go to prison. You're talking about 13, 14-year-old mind thinking like that. And when I went away, it took me a while to finally realize that I'm not the one that's hurting here. The ones that are hurting are the ones that are at home answering my phone calls or actually coming and visit me every month or whatever. It was like a VCR, they put pause on my life. So I went away for 11 years. But I had an old man tell me one time, always remember that no matter what, if you're in here, that world is out there still spinning without you. So everything's gonna change when you get out. And sure enough, when I got out, a lot of things had changed. But I knew one thing, that the low riding in me was never gonna change. I thank God that my wife, put a couple cars up and she held them for me while I was away. And, with the help of my brothers and some of my car club brothers, I got a car and started working on it slowly, and that's how we got back into it. It feels good, you have that brotherhood. We love building cars and, turning nothing into something. It's not a job to us, so it's a way of life.
So part of my job is I build frames for different cars, mainly for Impalas and some G bodies, which is Regals, Monte Carlos. So I got 3 frames that I built for 3 different customers, and then they wanted them color matched to their cars, so I had them powder coated. A company that I use out right here in Dallas. So now we're gonna go pay and pick up.
Would you describe yourself as an artist?
I never looked at it like that. I've had people tell me you have that eye for it. And I just, I try not to follow nobody else, what they do. I try to, pave my own way. And, but I've had people call me and tell me, hey, what do you think I should do to this car? What color should I paint it? Or, what kind of wheels will go on it? I always look at myself as you go to symphony, the guy with the, orchestrator. A lot of us, we celebrate on Christmas Eve. And then so on the 25th, we're just sitting around kind of doing nothing, laying around. So we're like, let's get out there and do something. We got a lot of different car clubs in Dallas, and we all got together. We took a ride out to downtown Dallas. That first year that we did it, it got real big. So after that, we were like, as a car club as a whole, let's all pitch in and let's go buy some toys. And, for the last 4 years, we'll give out thousands of gifts to kids. And, there's a lot of families out there that, don't have it like that. I can remember when I was that kid in line, my mom took us to go get gifts for Christmas. These kids are younger generations, they love it. They love it just as much as we do. If we can help younger generation to skip over the life that we lived and don't get in trouble and, focus on your future, we're doing what we can. And don't do this, for the fame or trying to, show off or anything like that. We do it because this is our city. We can touch somebody's heart, that's what we're here for. Put a smile on people's faces and let them enjoy the cars. And being around or growing up into, the lowrider, what we call the lowrider game, it grows into a person. Both of my daughters, Mariah and Mercedes, they both have cars. They're full throttle. They push me. Sometimes I don't want to pull the cars out, and they'll push me. Dad, let's go. As the generations go on, we're passing it down. We remember what my brother started in the 70s, and now we've turned it into something bigger. God forbid, whenever he takes me, at least we left something to the younger generations, my kids, something positive. Something, keep this legacy alive.